In November of 2025, the European Union launched a formal investigation that the Chinese robotic mower industry tried to bury. Why is the Swedish company that invented this category back in 1995 now begging Brussels for protection from the imitators flooding its home market? And why did one Chinese factory cluster come to control 66% of every robotic mower shipped on Earth in a single year? We are going to expose the engineering disasters destroying this industry, name the brands that are quietly building each other's products, and show you the only 3 types of robotic mowers you should actually buy with your money. Because if you walk into a Home Depot this weekend and hand $5,000 to a salesperson, you are likely walking out with a machine that will be a paperweight in 5 years. If you have walked into a hardware store recently, you might believe you are looking at a competitive marketplace with dozens of innovative brands. You see names like Husqvarna, Style, Greenworks, Works, Crease, Robomow, Cub Cadet, and Troy Built, and you assume these are different companies competing to build a better mower for your family. That is an illusion. The reality is that just 5 corporations controlled 76% of the entire global market in 2024, according to research firm Mordor Intelligence. And behind the scenes, 2/3 of every new wire-free mower sold in 2025 came from a single coastal manufacturing corridor in China. When you buy a Robomow or a Cub Cadet, you are not buying from a small team of engineers in Israel or Ohio. You are buying from a subsidiary of Stanley Black and Decker, the publicly traded conglomerate that spent $1.9 billion in December of 2021 to absorb MTD Holdings and become an instant outdoor power equipment empire. When you buy a Greenworks, marketed as the clean American alternative, you are buying a product whose Chinese parent company, Globe Tools, has been quietly co-owned by Stihl since May of 2016. The German artisan brand selling you premium mowers at the dealership is the same brand that owns the Chinese factory selling you the cheap battery mowers at the big box retailer down the street. The problem starts on the factory floor in a coastal corridor of China that most Americans cannot find on a map. The 200-mile manufacturing belt connecting Shenzhen, Suzhou, Changzhou, and Shanghai is to robotic mowers what Elkhart, Indiana, is to recreational vehicles. Globe Tools operates a single facility in Changzhou that is 2.58 million square feet, and it ships the robotic mowers you see branded as Greenworks, PowerWorks, and Kramer. Positech runs the Suzhou complex that builds Works, Cress, and Rockwell. Mammotion is in Guangdong. Dream is in Suzhou. Sunseeker is in Jinhua. EcoFlow is in Guangdong as well, but the geography is only the surface. The deeper problem is the incentive structure inside these factories. In the traditional Swedish or German workshop, an engineer was paid a salary to slow the line down when a tolerance was off. In the modern Chinese consumer electronics factory, the entire production model is built around shipment volume. Most of the new wire-free brands like Mammotion, Sunseeker, EcoFlow, and the Eufy line you see at retail are venture capital-backed startups under intense pressure to ship units against a quarterly burn rate. They are not selling you a mower. They are selling investors a growth chart, and your driveway is the testing ground for whatever firmware build happened to compile that week. This creates a perverse outcome that consumers never see. Many brands you think are competitors are literally building their products in the same industrial parks, sharing the same component suppliers, and in some cases, selling the exact same machine with different stickers on it. 2 firms supply the satellite navigation modules to nearly every wire-free mower on Earth. The Swiss company U-Blocks powers most of the European engineered systems. A Beijing firm called Unicore Communications surpassed 1 million units shipped to Chinese mower makers since the 3rd quarter of 2024. So your premium German-branded flagship and your discount Shenzhen startup may both be running the same satellite receiver, the same wheel motors, and the same lithium cells from the same 5 contract manufacturers. And then it gets stranger. When the consumer electronics giant Anker launched its Eufy robotic mower line, the company quietly disclosed something the marketing department buried. The Eufy mower is a rebranded Teramo. The hardware is built by another Chinese company called Muxian Intelligent Technology, and Anker's only modification is the battery pack. You are paying premium American brand prices for a machine that already exists under another name on a different shelf in the same store. But poor assembly is only half the problem. The materials and the software have been engineered to fail. The most fatal engineering flaw in the modern robotic mower is the lithium-ion battery sealed inside a non-serviceable plastic chassis. To save weight and to lock you into the dealer service network, manufacturers have stopped designing batteries that any homeowner can swap out with a screwdriver. Instead, they glue, rivet, or chip lock the battery into the body of the mower. Husqvarna's own data shows the typical automower battery begins to degrade noticeably after roughly 3,500 hours of cumulative runtime. The $5,000 Mammotion Luba 2 all-wheel drive has no user-replaceable battery at all. When that pack degrades, your only option is to ship the entire 30-pound machine back to Hong Kong and pay roughly 300 British pounds plus one-way freight to get a new one installed. It gets worse. Husqvarna locks the main control board of every 400 and 500 series automower to the display module, so you cannot install a replacement part yourself even if you legally purchase one. The repair shop Wolfswinkel openly states on its website that the main board cannot be pre-programmed and must be paired by a Husqvarna dealer using proprietary software. The Mammotion Luba. Two Mini owners report on forums that their machines are software locked to only accept the mapping area printed on the box, even when the hardware is physically capable of mowing a larger lawn. You are not buying a tool you own. You are buying a machine that the manufacturer leases to you on its own terms, and quietly upgrades or downgrades over your wireless connection. You might think the warranty will protect you from these defects, but the warranty process has become a global bureaucratic nightmare. In February of 2022, Husqvarna was forced to recall the 435 X all-wheel drive and 535 all-wheel drive automowers because their lithium-ion batteries were overheating and catching fire. There were 5 reports of overheating and 2 reports of actual fires. Each unit retailed for $3,999, but here is the catch. Husqvarna only replaced the battery for free if your mower had completed at least 1,200 charging cycles. Everyone with lower usage got a software patch. In March of 2023, Stihl had to recall the docking stations sold with its iRobot mowers from January of 2017 through July of 2022, also for fire hazard. The Husqvarna Trustpilot rating across 843 reviews currently sits at 1.3 out of 5. Mammotion has accumulated 16 Better Business Bureau complaints since June of 2023, and the company is not BBB accredited. And then there is the subscription trap. The Segway Navimo charges you $32.90 a year just to keep the cellular connection that powers its anti-theft tracking. Stop paying, and your $3,000 mower has zero recovery if it gets stolen. Husqvarna sold flagship 450X automowers between 2018 and 2021 with 3G modems. When carriers shut down 3G between 2022 and 2024, the smart features on those $4,000 machines simply stopped working. The fix? Pay your authorized dealer for a 4G upgrade kit at your own expense. The Orphan product risk is now real, and it is happening in real time. In October of 2025, the German company Vorwerk shut down the cloud servers for the Neato robot vacuum and bricked thousands of customer machines overnight. On December 14th of 2025, iRobot, the maker of the Roomba, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and is being acquired by its own Chinese contract manufacturer. The Belgian Kickstarter darling Toadi shut down, and a verified customer left a review describing how their €3,000 Willow mower never worked for a single day in 3 years of ownership. If a venture capital-backed startup runs out of money next year, your premium machine could become a 30-pound brick the next morning. This creates a cycle of depreciation that destroys the savings of middle-class buyers who thought they were making a smart investment. Industry analysts at Mowing Magic estimate that ongoing costs add 40 to 60% to the original purchase price over 5 years. The 5-year total cost of ownership of a $3,000 wire-free mower, when you add replacement batteries, blades, dealer service, and cellular fees, comes out to roughly $5,930. A $400 push mower over the same 5-year period costs about $700 total. The robotic mower is more than 8 times more expensive per year, and at year 5, the battery is shot and the firmware may already be orphaned. So if the entire market is rigged against you, does that mean you should give up on the dream of automated lawn care? No. It means you have to stop shopping like a consumer and start thinking like an auditor. If you want to avoid financial ruin, you must stop looking at the shiny new wire-free flagship models and start looking for the units built before the corporate consolidation accelerated. Look for the pre-acquisition era machines. The single cleanest pick is a used Husqvarna Automower 450X with the perimeter wire system, built before the company pivoted to its wire-free EPOS line around 2022. You can find working examples on eBay and through specialist dealers for between $700 and $1,400. Pair it with a fresh Type 14 battery from a parts specialist for about $250, and you have a Swedish engineered machine with a fully published parts catalog, a global dealer network, and another 5 to 7 seasons of mowing in it. No subscription, no cellular dependency, no remote server in the loop, or you can seek out the very few remaining factory-direct independent brands like Ambrogio. Ambrogio is built by Zucchetti Centro Sistemi, an Italian family-controlled industrial conglomerate that has refused to sell or to go public. They were awarded the Italian Prime Minister's Prize of Prizes for innovation twice. They sell through specialist dealers like Paradise Robotics in the upper Midwest, not through big box retailers. Because they do not answer to quarterly earnings calls and they do not pay a Home Depot markup, they put that money back into Italian-made components, a real 5-year warranty, and a phone line that an actual human being answers. But there is a third option that is the best kept secret in the lawn care community. There is a category of mower hiding in plain sight called the commercial-grade robot. A Belgian company named Bell Robotics has been building robotic mowers for more than 2 decades. In 2017, Bell Robotics was acquired by the Japanese conglomerate Yamabiko, the parent company of Echo and Shindaiwa. Bell Robotics machines are designed for soccer pitches, golf courses, and public parks, and the company claims thousands of units deployed across Europe and North America. They have multiple floating cutting heads, stainless steel blades, and ultrasonic sonar. Because they are built for institutional buyers who refuse to tolerate failure, the engineering tolerances are nothing like the consumer market. You are essentially buying a Belgian-engineered, Japanese-owned commercial machine for the price of a premium consumer flagship. When you run a Bell Robotics Park Mow, you are running an asset that already has a decade of proven field performance, a parts catalog measured in years, not months, and an engineering pedigree from before the industry sold itself to Asia. This brings us back to that European Union investigation we opened with. Husqvarna is not begging Brussels for protection because they are losing on price. They are begging because they know that once a venture-backed Chinese brand collects your money and your map data, there is nothing stopping it from disappearing the moment its funding round dries up. The era of widespread quality in the consumer robotic mower category is over, and the big brands are banking on you not noticing. They are counting on you to be distracted by the LiDAR sensors and the 4K cameras, so you do not notice the $32 a year cellular subscription, the chip-locked battery, or the firmware update that will quietly delete a feature you paid for. But if you know where to look, and you are willing to step outside the big box retail system, you can still find a robotic mower that is built to last a decade. Do not let Stanley Black and Decker, Husqvarna, or a venture-funded startup take $5,000 of your retirement savings for a machine that is designed to fail. Check the dates, check the manufacturing lineage, and never underestimate the value of a perimeter wire and a Swedish parts catalog. If you found this useful, hit subscribe for more investigations like this one.